I'd love to talk a little bit about the new book, The Love Prescription: 7 Days to More Intimacy, Connection, and Joy. I've started reading that on my Kindle, and I've got the physical copy arriving in the next couple of days. But it's interesting because one of the claims in the book, or at least in the blurb, is that there is a formula for a good relationship. And if you almost the vibe that I got was that, hey, if you follow the formula and just do these 7 things across these 7 days, or however long it takes, you will just almost magically improve the quality of your relationship. So I wonder if you can just kind of riff on that a little bit. Like, what is this formula for love?
Yeah, sure. So one of the things is being nice to one another.
What a concept.
So, giving your partner compliments, catching your partner doing something right and communicating respect and affection in words, letting your partner know how attractive they are to you and how irresistible they seem at times. That kind of positivity is very, very critical. Another one is turning toward. Turns out to be a very powerful thing in a relationship. So, in our apartment lab where we saw 130 newlywed couples and followed them for 6 years, we discovered that a lot of time when they're just kind of hanging out in this apartment lab, one person will try to get the other person's attention or share something humorous or, some interesting story that they've heard or are reading about. And then they try to connect. They make a bid for connection. And then the cameras in the lab always swung to the other person to see the response. And there were 1 of 3 responses: turning toward, which was, really acknowledging the connection. One person might say, "Oh, what a beautiful boat that is, going by." And if the other person said, "Yeah, that was turning toward. If they didn't respond at all, that was turning away. Or if they responded irritably, "Will you be quiet? I'm trying to read," that was turning against. So when we followed couples, the 17 couples who divorced one another after 6 years after the wedding, when we look back six years earlier, they had turned toward these bids only 33% of the time, whereas the couples who were still together 6 years earlier had turned toward the bids 86% of the time. Huge difference. And we also discovered that turning toward is like an emotional bank account that you build. When you really connect with your partner, when your partner wants to connect with you, then during conflict, you have more of a sense of humor about yourself and about one another. You can laugh together and you can be affectionate even when you're disagreeing, and it reduces physiological arousal. So turning toward is another one that's very, very powerful. And when people become aware of that as a tool of connecting, then the relationship improves quite dramatically.
Right. So in this book, what we're doing is each day we're giving couples little thing to do, little 10-minute thing to do every single day. Like one day we'll be giving compliments, really expressing fondness and admiration. A second day will be look for what your partner is doing right. And not just wrong, right. And point it out and say thank you to your partner. Third is listening, talking about your needs with one another. What do you need? And we emphasize you should bring up your needs as a positive need rather than a negative need. And what that means is that you ask for what you do want, not what you don't like or you resent. Don't bring that up, because that's going to sound like criticism. Instead, flip it on its head and say, I would love it if you clean the dishes 3 times a week. That would be such a big help to me. That's a positive need. So people present, on, I forget which day, they talk about one need they have with their partner that can allow their partner to shine for them. It's not a criticism. It's the opposite. Right? Another one is honoring each other's dreams. So talk about what maybe deeply held dream you have for something you want to do, something you want to experience, something you want to feel, whatever it is, share that with your partner and really listen to what your partner says about that question too. So, what we hope to see if people practice this every day for 7 days is that from before they started it to the end of the week, they'll see a little bit of change. Maybe little something feels different. And they can talk about which one of those little prescriptions really made a difference for them. Now, it doesn't mean everything gets fixed in 7 days and then you can go back to being whoever you were before. No, it's instead that you're learning how to do something a little different that deepens the friendship, deepens emotional intimacy, which of course opens up to more sexual intimacy, and helps you when you have to talk about conflict. Continue those practices, especially the ones you found the best for you and your partner. And you'll see over time, the relationship is doing this over time. Big change.
Hey friends, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this clip, then click here for the full unedited episode. And if you like that, then do please consider subscribing to the channel. It means a lot. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye-bye.